Okay, we're going to resume the 7th cross, and I'm going to stay with you for the entirety of this white color block, which is 8 rows of cross plus 4 rows more for the finish of stockinette in the cross column. So that's about 24 minutes. 1, purl the seed, work on the cable, cable back. This is part 2. Knit the cable back. Three seed stitches, purl, knit, purl. Knit 1, knit 2, knit 3. We're beginning the bottom of the cross. Purl 2, knit 3, purl, knit, purl, do the second cable, which is part 2, so you're dropping your middle 2 stitches behind on the cable needle, knit back, cable back. Knit the last 2 stitches, bring up the cable back and knit those. Purl the seed, slip the loop with the yarn in front. That was row 1 of 8 rows of the bottom of the cross. This is row 2 of the bottom of the cross, the back of the scarf. Knit the loop on the end, purl the seed, purl the next 6 stitches behind the cable. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Purl, knit, purl for the 3 seeds. Purl, knit, purl. Purl the next 3. 1, 2, 3. Knit the next 2, the back of the cross. 1, 2. Purl the next 3. 2, 3. That completes the cross column. Do the 3 seed stitches. Purl, knit, purl, purl, knit, purl. Purl the back 6 stitches behind the cable. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Purl the seed and slip the loop with the yarn towards you. Okay, now we're going to start the 3rd row of the bottom of the cross. This is the 7th cross. This is the first of 6 crosses that are in reverse. There will be 12 crosses when we're done. Knit the loop, purl the seed, make the cable. This is part 1, cable front, knit 1, knit 2, knit the cable front, knit stitches 5 and 6 of the cable, 1, 2, move on to the seed, purl, knit, purl, purl, knit, purl, move on to the cross, knit 3, 1, 2, 3, purl 2, that's the cross, knit 3, that completes the cross panel, purl, knit, purl your seeds, purl, knit, purl, work on the cable front, knit the next 2 stitches, complete the cable front, knit the last 2 stitches, 5 and 6, purl the seed, slip the loop with the yarn in front. Now there's lots of different cables. There's an infinite number of ways to make cables. These are simple braided cables requiring 6 stitches. But you don't want to just knit 6 stitches when you're making something. You want to have a border so that your cable doesn't look all twisted and mangled. You need to have a context in which to frame your cable. So I chose to use seed stitches on the outsides of my cables. I think they're really pretty. I think this pattern is really pretty. Okay, row 4 of the bottom of the cross, back of the scarf. Purl or knit the loop, purl the seed, purl the 6 stitches behind the cable, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3 seed, purl, knit, purl, purl 3 for the beginning of the cross column, knit the 2 in the middle, that's the back of the cross, purl 3 more to complete the cross column, do the 3 seed stitches, purl, knit, purl, purl, knit, purl, purl 6, the back of the cable, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, purl the seed, slip the loop with the yarn towards you. You're slipping. Okay, we're beginning the 5th row of the bottom of the cross, which is exactly the same as the 1st row because you're duplicating the cables the same way. Knit the loop on the end, purl the seed, do part 2 of your cable, knit the first 2 stitches, cable the next 2 back, knit the last 2 stitches, complete the back cable. 1, 2. Do the 3 seed stitches, purl, knit, purl, knit the next 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, purl 2 for the cross, 1, 2, knit 3 to complete the cross panel, 1, 2, 3. I'm using the words panel and column interchangeably. I hope I'm not confusing anyone. Do the next 3 seed stitches, purl, knit, purl. Do the cable, knit 2, cable back the next 2, knit the last 2, complete the cable back, knit 2. Purl the seed stitch, slip the loop with the yarn towards you. Row 6, back of the scarf. Knit the loop, purl the seed, purl the 6 stitches behind the cable, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do the seed stitches, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl. Purl the next 3, 1, 2, 3. Knit the next 2, that's the back of the cross again, 1, 2. Purl the next 3 to complete the cross column, 1, 2, 3. Do the 3 stitches, seed stitches, purl, knit, purl, purl, purl 6 behind the cable, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Purl the seed, 1, slip the knit with the yarn towards you. Okay, we're doing the 7th row of the bottom of the cross. See how this is coming together? Almost there. Knit the loop on the end, purl the seed. This is part 1 of the cable. Cable front the first 2 stitches, knit the next 2, complete cable front, knit the last 2 stitches, 5 and 6 of the cable, purl, knit, purl your seed stitches, purl, knit, purl, knit the next 3, 1, 2, 3, purl the 2 cross stitches in the middle, 1, 2, knit the next 3 to complete the cross panel, 1, 2, 3, do your next seed stitches, purl, knit, purl, begin your next cable, cable 2 front, knit the next 2, complete cable 2 front, 1, 2, knit the last 2 stitches of your cable, 5 and 6, 1, 2, and purl your seed, slip your loop with the yarn in front. Back side, this is the last row of the cross, row 8 of the bottom of the cross. Knit your loop on the end, purl your seed, purl the next 6 stitches behind the cable, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, purl, knit, purl your seeds, purl, knit, purl, purl the next 3, 1, 2, 3, knit the next 2, that's the back of the cross and the end of the cross, 1, 2, purl the next 3, 1, 2, 3, completing your cross column. Purl, knit, purl your next 3 seed stitches, purl, knit, purl, purl your next 6 behind the cable, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Purl your seed, 1, and slip your loop with the yarn towards you. Okay, the cross is finished, but we're not done with the white. We have to do 4 more rows of white to complete the white color block. So I'm going to walk you through that again. I know this is tedious and repetitious for those of you who already know how to do this, but I want to complete this on camera. Knit this loop, purl the seed, begin your cable. This is part 2. Cable back, knit stitches 5 and 6 of the cable, bring up your back cable stitches and knit them. Purl, knit, purl your seeds. Now, instead of making any part of the cross, we're all done with the cross, we're just knitting 8 stitches across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, across the bottom of the cross. 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. Purl, knit, purl your seeds. 1, 2, 3. Work on your cable. Knit 2. Pick up the next 2 stitches and drop them behind. That's cable back. Knit 5 and 6. Bring up your cable back needle stitches. Knit those. Purl your seed. Slip your loop with the yarn towards you. Back of the scarf. This is row 2 of 4. Don't want my hair in this scarf either. Laugh out loud. Knit the loop. Purl the seed. Purl the 6 stitches behind the cable. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Purl, knit, purl, 8 purl across the back of the cross column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Purl, knit, purl, for the seeds, purl, knit, purl, purl 6 across the back of the cable, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, purl 1 for the seed, and slip the loop with the yarn towards you. Two more rows of this white. Knit the loop on the end, purl the seed, start the cable. Part 1. Slip the cable needle into the first 2 stitches, drop it in front, this is front cable, knit the next 2, bring up your cable, knit those 2 stitches, knit stitches 5 and 6, 5, 6, purl, knit, purl your seeds, purl, knit, purl, knit 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, purl, knit, purl your seeds, purl, knit, purl, cable the first 2 stitches, cable front, knit stitches 3 and 4, go back to your cable knit and knit the first 2, knit stitches 5 and 6 of the cable, purl the seed, slip the loop with the yarn towards you. Very last row of white on the 7th white color block. This is going to be 20 rows of white. Knit your loop, purl your seed, purl the 6 behind the cable, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, purl, knit, purl your seed, purl, knit, purl, purl 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, purl, knit, purl your seed, purl, knit, purl, purl 6 behind the cable, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, purl 1 for the seed, slip the loop with the yarn towards you. I am now done with the white color block, which is the 7th cross. Now, here's the 6th cross, and here's the 7th cross. And that's how you tell you're at the midway point in your scarf, when you have one going one direction and one going the other. It's really important to count. You don't want to have uneven numbers of crosses in your scarf. You either want 10 crosses or 12 crosses, or if you wanted a really long scarf, there's a couple ways you can tweak this. You could make your color blocks longer by adding extra stitches before and after your crosses, or you could make it with another even number of crosses. Instead of 12 crosses, you could make it with 14 crosses and have 7 crosses go one way and then 7 going the other way in reverse. Point is, you can make whatever you want, but if you're going to reverse crosses, you want an even number of crosses so that you can have the same number of crosses going the opposite direction. Now, I'm going to end this video here because all you have to do from this point on is continue making the stripes the same exact way, continue making the crosses in reverse the same exact way as you made your 7th cross. So you're making your 7th cross, your set of stripes, your 8th cross, your set of stripes, etc., until you get to the 12th cross. And then when you make your 12th cross, which is the 6th cross in reverse, you don't make stripes after that. You go right from your 20 row white color block, your 12th cross, into double ribbing to end the scarf. So after you do your 20 rows of the 12th cross, then you finish the scarf with 6 rows of double ribbing, and you bind it off on the 6th row, and then you weave in that tail, that end, into your back of your scarf. And you can weave that in any way you want. I put it through the double ribbing up the stitches. I did that. I didn't do it yet. This little end here, I might as well show you how to do that right now. I've got my crochet hook. I'm on the back of the scarf. I have a little tail. I'm going to I'm hiding this really well. I'm going through these 2 loops of the bottom, the very last row, the second to the last row, pulling the white through the 2 loops of double ribbing, pulling that through, and then I'm doing it kind of loosely because I'm kind of hiding this. I'm not tying this one strand off. I'm just weaving it through the middle of the back of the double ribbing, which on the front is purl, on the back it looks like knit. So I'm weaving that through. If it comes loose, you just weave it through again. I'm not doing it tightly. I'm not tying off a knot. I am just weaving it through so that it's hidden. And then I've got one more. Put it in here. Now, I'm going to snip that off in a minute, but I want to show you the front first. You can't even tell I did that because I used this column. The knit side is where I wove it through, so I could loop it through real easy. But you can't even tell there's something woven in there if you look at the front of the scarf. And I actually could leave that there. In fact, I will, because it's so short. And hopefully it won't come loose, but if it does, you just weave it through again. You just need a crochet hook. But you don't do it tight. You don't want to interrupt the flow of your double ribbing at the end of the scarf. And then I do that at the final end as well. So, I hope you are able to understand my directions. I am not a professional knitter, but this is my pattern, and I really felt it was important to share my pattern with anybody who wanted to watch a tutorial about it. I hope this has been something you can use. I hope you're able to make Christian neck scarves, God and Country scarves. This is the God and Country scarf. This is the white version. You can do this with all 3 colors. You can have red as your main color with navy blue and white stripes. You can have navy blue as your main color with red and white stripes. You can do it in 3, actually there's 6 ways to do it because you can make your stripes in reverse of this too. I could have put 2 rows of navy and 4 rows of red in the middle, but I'm sticking to this. I like how it pops. I like how the colors pop, but there's just a lot of possibilities with this. If you wanted a narrower scarf, you could go to single seed stitches instead of 3 seeds on each side of the cross column. If you wanted a wider scarf, you could change your 3 seeds to 5 stitches on each side of the cross column, or you could add more seed stitches to the single seed on the edges of the scarf. There's lots of ways to make it larger, smaller, narrower, wider, longer, shorter. But I do like the 20 row cross blocks. I think if you made your color blocks longer by adding more stockinette on each end of the cross, I think it might make your cross a little more lost in the sea of that color. I would be more inclined to just tell you to add 2 extra crosses to your scarf, which adds about a foot, about approximately a foot of length. It's up to you how you want to tweak this, but I've given you the basics. I hope they were easy to understand. If you have any questions about anything, please feel free to text me. My cell number is 440-862-1337, or you can shoot me an email. My email address is dawnelizabeth54. That's DAWN Elizabeth with a Z, ELIZABETH 54. That's the year I was born, 54, at protonmail.com. If you have any questions at all, be happy to answer them, and hopefully you'll be able to make this scarf and share it with your family or your friends, or make it for yourself. Always make your first one for yourself. You deserve it. Thank you for your time. God bless you. God bless United States of America. God heal the United States of America. There's so much wrong with our country, but there's so much right with our country as well. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. God bless.